We are live, guys. We are ready to roll here. Let me get this a little bit different. There we go. We are ready to go. Um, we have a busy week this week. We've been getting a lot of calls on my phone to do SRRVs this week. A lot. I got 7 calls alone just last night. That's a lot of calls. We usually sometimes we do like 4 or 5 or something like that, but seven, and we had like about 35 people asking about it in emails, and that's the most I've ever received on any given day. So it goes to show that we got a lot of people coming in country right now. So let's see, we got one person on here right now, Sinful. So let's see if we get some more people on here coming in soon. Hopefully we do. Hopefully that number goes up. Who else we got on here? We got Michael out, so it's not showing all the people. We're already up to 4. There we go. And we got Joe Grutz is on here. I just talked to him on the phone. He's looking to rent one of the places right near me. We have tomorrow. One of the guys is going to book one of those places, I guess for sure. And I'm gonna go pick. We're gonna go pick him up in Angeles, and we got 3 more left of those very low rent apartments, and they're really they should be pretty nice when they're all done. I know the ones where I live are decent. You fix them up the way you want. Good morning, guys. Good evening. We got Richard Jarrett, Jonathan Leach. We got some new people, and John Smith. I think we've had him on here already. Jen Geo, Philippine Journey. How you doing, guys? Glad to see you survived the typhoon. Yeah, we didn't have any like really flooding around here. We had heavy rains that should have caused flooding, but we're 423 feet up in the air where I live. Jimbo L is on board. And who else we got on board? We got 14 people, so we're running up pretty quick here. We already got 6 thumbs up. Thank you guys. Um, I got some stuff coming up this week. I'll show you what I got. I got actually the embassy gave me this. And it's a checklist for older travelers. And I'm gonna do a video on that. It's some pretty good information. Some of it's pretty basic, but I'm gonna do a video on it anyway. I noticed that we're getting a lot of people interested in some of the videos, like the one I did today. And I actually bought a book, and I'm gonna start doing some of these essays and videos, and 101 essays that will change the way you think. And there's a lot of stuff that's really relevant to expats in there, and it should help. Let's see, we got Sinful says no flooding near my place at all, just rain, rain, rain. That's what we've had. We had flooding in Tanza, next town over, and that was pretty bad down there. They had some bad flooding. Michael says, do you know if you can renew a passport early? Yes, you can. It says my passport expires 2026. However, I'm stuck in the States for work reasons until after the elections. So now would be a good time to renew. Yes, you can. You can even do it 2 years in advance or something if you want, Michael. I actually asked that question up at the embassy, and they said yes because I want to do the same thing. I want to get mine done early. Let's see, Gen Geo Philippine Journey. Who I contact to register at the VA in Manila? Um, you you just call their number. They have a couple of numbers, and one of them gets through, and I'm not sure which one it is, but I used to get through there all the time. I know one of the numbers people are saying they're not getting through. There's a couple of numbers on their website, and you can call those until you get through, and then just make an appointment or email them. That's the best way because they do get back on emails. And Simple says, Michael L. Before I came to Philippines, had about 18 months. I just sent my passport and stated I was retiring out of the country. No issues. No, they'll do it. No problems. Wendy Toll. Hi, Stephen, everyone. How you doing, Wendy? Michael says, thank you, Stephen Sinfuls, for the information. Michael's one of our moderators, too. So we've got 2 moderators on here at any given time, and both of them have the freedom to take anybody down that they feel is putting something up. So they have free reign on that. So if anybody's getting out of control or anything like we've had in the past a couple times, and we all know about that, we just take them down. So one of the things that we don't talk politics on here very rarely. Just on the surface, we don't really dig into it usually, and we try to avoid it totally. Let's see, Gen Geo Philippine Journey. Just bring my CD disc. The VA gave me from Bay Pines, Virginia. Correct? They have all that stuff already. Gen and Geo. If you're transferring over to the new one here, to the VA over here, they basically have all that stuff already. And when I left Massachusetts, I talked to the lady there, and she said that they'll have just pop everything up. And she had already sent a lot of the information to them already because she knew I was coming, and when I got here, they were all set for me, which is great. Sinful, my wife has strep. She's not feeling well. You know what? We have it right here in my area is chicken pox. Um, the girls up above me that live up top of the hill, they all have chicken pox. And fortunately, I had chicken pox already because I always give them the fist bump. And then I realized I touched them after they had chicken pox. And I just realized after I looked at them, they had spots all over their face. John living in the Philippines. I'm on time for once. Okay. No problem. Even if a lot of people come in late, they just pass through or whatever. We got 21 people on board and 10 thumbs up already. So we can pretty much talk about anything that you guys want out there, okay? Michael L says there is a vaccine for chickenpox now. Yeah, it's good for the people. I think they must give that to kids in school, you would think, but not here in the Philippines. I would imagine back in the States, they probably give it to kids. um, but yeah, here, all the kids up above have got it. There's 4 kids up there that have it. So I worry about anybody that doesn't have it because they'll probably get it now that it's going through the neighborhood. So, but let's get some more talk up here. See, Gen Geo Philippine Journey. What's this virus going around the Philippines? Headaches, feeling like a hammer hitting your body last 7 to 10 days. It's probably the flu. It's going around bad. Negros Oriental. I would say it's probably the flu because I know it's flu season here, and a couple people had the flu around here too. That was another thing. Sinful is probably a COVID strain. That's a possibility too. That stuff travels pretty fast. Um, but we don't have too many people sick except with the mostly with the chicken pox up here. But a couple people have come down with like flu-like symptoms over the past 2 to 4 weeks. I know my neighbors had a little bit of a problem like a couple weeks back. I think it was. Sinful says my wife and I had flu a couple weeks ago. So it's probably yeah. See, I had the flu shot, so I'm good as far as that goes. One thing I will say though, when I had the shingles shot, that thing is a horror show. So for you guys that go up to the VA or are thinking about getting the shingles shot, the first shot is a real winner. All your joints kill you for like 2 days, and then you feel better. But I'm not looking forward to get the second one that I have to get. Um, Gen Geo Philippine Journey. I'll tell you now, I never felt that bad from a flu before. Wow. Joe Gretz says, "Good morning, Sinfuls and Michael L. How you doing, Joe?" Let's see, Sinfuls. Hi, Joseph. And then but if you guys are looking for a good book to read, get that book. I'm telling you, this book here is phenomenal. I just and it's great because you can bounce around in it because it's got 101 essays, so you can go from page to page. I mean, from chapter to chapter, and you're not really missing much. You can pick out which ones are relevant to you and which ones aren't. But when I was looking through it, um, and I started reading a few of them, it really does change the way you think about things because you start seeing things differently with what they show you and tell you. Let's see. John living in the Philippines. Yes, I've been sick for about 5 days now, so it must be something going around pretty bad. Um, Stanley Woke. I'm sure you've asked already, but here in the states, we're hearing China is giving Philippines a hard time. Is that something you worry about over there? I think we all worry about that. I mean, I'm sure Sinfuls and everybody else out there would probably say the same thing, and same with Michael. Well, Michael's doesn't. He's not over here, but Sinfuls, I'm sure worries. But we've talked about that a few times. And it is something that we worry about because they say that they're going to do something. I know that they've sat and talked this past week or the week before and said that they're going to work something out. And it seems like China then just does something else afterwards. So their word doesn't mean anything. So yeah, it does make us worry over here quite a lot about that. Simple says I don't worry about it, but I think we think that something could happen in the future. We worried about it a little bit. We worry about if something ever was to happen that we're ready for it. And I think um, Sinfuls and I are kind of ready for that. I'm ready for it anyway here for like as far as food and goes, like food and things like that, because they'd probably try to cut off food, the supply line, which would be terrible. Gen Geo Philippine Journey, John, it's nasty, ain't it? Gen Geo, how's your friend doing in Thailand? Rich is doing great. I talked to Rich. We're gonna actually go visit him probably the first of the year. So we're gonna go up and probably spend like a week or two up there. Ang hubby ni MSM. Hi Steve. Went to the People's Park and in the sky in Tagaytay today. Great views of Tal and volcano. John living in the Philippines. Jen Geo. Yes, it is. That's actually a beautiful place. It's a great view up there when it's not cloudy. I don't know what it was like today. Sinful says Ang hubby ni NSM, just above my house, LOL. Simples lives in a nice place, nice area. Deborah, is this live? Yes, it is, Deborah. So welcome on here tonight. We are live, so you guys can ask any questions you want. Simples puts yes, Deborah. Let's see, we're up to 34, so we're moving tonight. This is good. Plus 10 thumbs up, so we're doing good here. So let's start getting some chat going on here. We can talk about just about anything you guys want. Um, Henry Cohen, can you hear me now? We can hear you now. Let's see. Who else we got on here? I think I talked to Henry just a couple minutes ago. If that's the same Henry, we just talked a couple hours back. Let's see who else we got on here tonight. Let's get some more chat on here, guys. Come on, you're dying on me. Yeah, this morning rather. Oh, it is Henry. All right, how you doing, Henry? Good to see you on here tonight. Gen Geo Philippine journey. So, how bad was the flooding around Manila? I've been seeing a lot on Facebook. You know, I want to say this because there's some pictures of China that are going around showing a flood and showing more flooding than what really is up in Manila. So, but the flooding up there is still bad. There's 600,000 people without homes right now that are homeless because of the flooding. That their houses are damaged. Um, Deborah, so you said it is 9:30 Manila time. Can someone tell me what time Pacific time? I'm not sure. Let's see. Henry says, not bad for an old man." There we go. And Henry's a guy. He's in his 80s over here, and he's living in the Philippines, and he's pretty healthy, pretty spry. Rides around on his motorcycle. Sinful says flooding in Manila and northern Luzon was severe. Yes, and Rizal, a lot of other places. Deborah says Saturday. Joe Grutza, was there any flooding around your house? No, no, and we never will get any flooding here because of the way that it is here. We're 423 feet up in the air, and we have a drop going down into the river down back here that drops like about 30 or 40 feet down. Actually, more than that, I think about 50 feet down. You know, it might even be more than that. I know it's pretty far. It's a good drop. I haven't been down there for a while. Actually, I think it's like more like 60 or 70 feet. But it's a good sized drop going down back here, and that has to all fill up with water before it floods us. You know. So Henry says, "Thanks for the shout out on my phone." That's funny. Um, Simple says, "Deborah, 6:30 a.m. time." Vulcan says, "Good evening to the hardest working expat and PI." Thank you, man. Deborah says, when are you live?" We are live right now. Every 9:30 every Saturday night on most Saturdays anyway. Sometimes I take a night off. Michael L says it's 06:36 Pacific time. Michael L says St. Louis, Missouri, 8:36 Central Daylight Savings Time. And Steve is Tracy. Yeah, I'm in Tracy Martirez. And Tracy Martirez is about 20 miles south for you guys that don't know of Manila. So we're not far from Manila. Alan retired in the Philippines. Wife and I went to 9-day wake and funeral today. It's amazing the customs and superstitions they have. Too much to list. Maybe you can explain to the audience. A funeral over here is really weird because they do a lot of gambling. Sometimes they're listening to music, dancing, and having fun. It's almost like a kind of a Creole funeral, like they have down in New Orleans and stuff. They just it's kind of a party, and you go there and people are having fun, and it's kind of strange. And they stay up all night long for several days. Like this person said, 9-day wake. That's a long wake. Joe Grutz says, I've never heard of the fishing in the rivers there. There's fishing here, there's lakes here and stuff like that. Actually, we are gonna go fishing sometime soon. Um, Let's see. Vulcan says, this is Rich, just dropping in to see how the expat chat is tonight. We're doing good, Rich. I just spoke with Rich just a little while ago. Um, he's a Rich is a big golfer. For you guys that like golfing, he's the man you want to talk to. He is like really big into golfing. Um, Sinful says, "Hi, Rich." Joe says, "Hi, hey, Rich." Rick Sponge says, "Hey, Stevie, is Tagaytay a good place to retire? Uh, Need to avoid being flooded at all costs." If you're looking for places that don't flood, Tracy Mott Terrace is one of them. I don't think Indang floods either. I think Indang's high enough. It's there's a lot of places besides Tagaytay. Tagaytay is kind of busy during their main seasons. Michael S. says the ancient Greeks had funeral games. Let's see. Dwayne Anderson says every night they have a small service. Simple says Rick Sponge, you would be safe from floods there. Just have the volcano. LOL. Yeah, that's the problem. Is the volcano, and it does go off every once in a while. Sinful says, "Oh, that Rich." LOL. Yeah, that's why I said it so you'd know which Rich it is. Jen Geo, Philippine Journey. A funeral in Philippines is a celebration for so many days. Plus, the body of the deceased is there at the house till they bury it. After they drive through the town. Deborah says, "Tell me the name of your town and the sites or special things where you live or nearby." The name of the town is Tracy Martirez. It's the city of martyrs. We have a mall here. We have rides to go all kinds of places. The good thing about our town is the transportation out of the town to go anywhere you want, and it's also a nice little town. We can go to Tagaytay, we can go to Manila, we can go to Mall of Asia. It's we can go to Alabang, all kinds of places we can go. We can go to Tanza, and we can go. There's a Tanza resort down there, which is really nice. Tanza Oasis. Um, let's see. Sinful says New Valley area is safe and better than Tagaytay. Probably yes. That's a nice area too. Jimbo L. Heavy rains, possible flooding, volcano problems with China. Does it matter? I'm on the plane for 19 days. Let's see. Michael L says, and the Jews Sichiva to remember the dead person's life. So Philippine funeral custom is not strange at all. No, I don't think it's strange. Just different from the American customs. Anders says, "Hello, Steve. Still a lot of good rent options in Tracy. We got three right up above me right now. But there's other places in Tracy too that they have good rentals, but they get snapped up quick lately." Rick Sponge, does the wind blow a certain direction at the volcano? I guess I live in the opposite. Yes, it does. It carries it mostly to a certain area. Like we didn't get much ash here, and up north they got it, so the wind goes more that way. Simple says, Jimbo L, barring new storms, you will be fine. Joe Gretzer, good for you, Jimbo. Jimbo L, thank you guys. I appreciate it. I do. Deborah says, how do you spell your town? It's Trece and then Martires, Martires. So Tracy Martires. And it's in Cavite province. Vulcan 80, Shiva is 30 days for immediate family, and it's rough. Let's see. Sinful says, Rick Sponge, it actually blows southwest generally. Let's see. Alan retired in the Philippines. Some tribes here in the Philippines hang the caskets from a tree. They hang them from the side of rocks on the side of like a cliff too, up north here. And others do not bury their dead. They have small thumbs, some shaped as it says small thumbs. I don't know what that means, but anyway, I think he misspelled some shaped as cars and animals. I think he's talking. Let's see, Deborah. I am Jewish. Ellen retired in the Philippines. Tombs. Okay, Tombs. I got you now. Yeah, they have some up north. Some of the tribes have some really weird stuff going on up there. Like I said, they bury them on the side of a cliff. Let's see, Deborah. Anyone else here of the same faith, Jewish? Yes, there is, Deborah. There's a few people on here right now. Sinfuls, I will be one hot dude when I die. That's funny. You'll be the hottest guy in town, Sinfuls. Rory Bellamy says, is cremation used at all in the Philippines? Yes. Yes, there's people that get cremated. Actually, a lot of the expats choose cremation over getting buried here. Um, just something that they choose here. I'm not sure why. Maybe because it's cheaper, or maybe the family chooses that because they don't have a lot of money. Simple's Rory Bellamy. Yes, that is what I am. I am doing. Let's see. Simple's. My ashes will be with my dogs. Jen Geo, Philippine Joy, just dropped me in the volcano when I passed away. There we go. And then get the job done for free, except for the helicopter trip. Let's see. For me, I don't care either way. I'd rather get buried in a casket, but if it causes a hardship, I'm okay with getting cremated. Michael else says Tracy Martires is Espanol for 13 martyrs. Yes, 13 people were executed for rebellion against Spain in 1896 in Cavite City. Um, they have a statue of them right in town here too. Joseph Gretza, will the land allow dog? Will the land allow dogs? Um, I'm not sure. Not sure what you're talking about, Joe. Jimbo, good info, Michael. Rick Sponge, which bank has the shortest ATM lines? Um, I think it will take me some time to optimize my patience level. China Bank. China Bank is actually a good bank, and it's not owned by China like people think. Okay, so China Bank is actually partially owned by BDO. Let's see. Leonard Marlin says, I just recently bought a burial plot 2 months ago. Sinful says, Joe, what do you mean? I didn't get that one. Landlord. Let me go. Well, yeah, we have a dog here, Joe. Most landlords, some landlords will allow dogs and some will not. Okay. Leonard Merlin did want the wife to deal with anything. Yes, Joseph, very common. Um, RLV says August ghost month for most PH business. Um, Wendy says you shouldn't have any expense for a funeral being in the Navy, Steve. Yeah, you can get some things taken care of. I think they pay. When my father passed away, he was a Navy veteran, but he was a war veteran, and they paid like $600 or something like that back then. That would cover cremation, yes, and even your burial up here above Manila. I think you can get better up near Subic. I think there's a cemetery up there, and you can pre-order those. I heard. Sinful says Rick Sponge. The secret to ATM is go early in the morning. Yeah, that's the best time to go. Deborah says, can an American get buried in the Philippines if you are on a tourist visa? Yes, yes, you can get buried. Your girlfriend or boyfriend, or whatever, or maybe a friend or something has to buy that because we can't own land here. So go figure on that one. But you can be buried here certainly. Joe Grutz of Sinfuls. I will need another MAL, whatever that is. RLB, thumbs up on PH China Bank. Yeah, don't worry about it. It's not owned by China. A lot of people, they think it's owned by China, and I fully understand. Sinfuls, Joseph Grutz, a good choice. Joseph Grutz, a former K9 here. Rick Sponge, what is China Bank maximum daily ATM withdrawal? Um, I think it's about 10,000 pesos. Okay, at a time. Now, hear me on this. But you can sometimes at some of these banks you can do 5 withdrawals of 200. Okay, and some you can't. I know I can withdraw from my home bank 10,000 at a time. I can do it 5 times. Okay, so I can take out almost $1,000. Now, some of the banks only let you do that twice. I'm really not sure about China Bank. Um, Sinful says, "What is melanois?" He means. Michael L. Wasn't China Bank started by a Chinese family that have been in the Philippines for centuries? I think it was started by a bunch of Chinese Filipinos. Michael, that's what I heard. I could be wrong, but yeah, it was started by Chinese people that they were actually citizens here. Deborah, how cheap is a funeral with a plot? Plots go for about $1,200 here. At least not the rental plots. I'm talking about a permanent plot because they have rental plots too. And then they dig up your bones after like 5 years or something. Deborah, you don't want that. You want to spend the 1,200. The 1200 is that's it. You buy it and nobody can touch it. Sinful's Rick Sponge 20K withdrawal per transaction. But I do but I do know about 3K US in a day to get my monthly budget. Let's see. ROB says PH China Bank owned by SM Group of cost lesser lines. Yes. So also owned by BDO, unless they sold it. But I know that BDO did have some ties with them. Sean Don, I have a friend whose father was buried there, and she would like to find his grave. She provided a death certificate. Death certificate. He was last in Subic. Do you know how we could possibly find it? You can call up the VFW. Call the VFW up in that area in Angeles or Subic, and they could give you the information. There's a gentleman up there. His name is Neil McAuliffe, I think it is. He might be able to help you find that. You can ask him because he was a former undertaker and he works at the VFW up there. Or you can ask anybody at the VFW and they should be able to find that for you or look it up for you. So I hope that helps you. Just try to look up VFW on find out. You can probably Google it or something that give you all the information to get in touch with them. Leonard Mullen, we don't use the ATMs, but transfer 150,000 PHP in our BDO bank account and withdraw 150,000 at a time. You know what I do is I send it to myself, Western Union, from my bank back home, and that way there I get it. I just go pick it up in one lump, and it takes a couple minutes, and you don't have to wait in lines. You pay a little bit, but you're paying fees for all those withdrawals too, so it adds up. But those withdrawals I get back. So for me, it's not hard. Some of the times I take it out by ATM. Sometimes I send it to myself if I need a large sum. Let them know we don't use ATMs, but transfer 150,000 our BDO account. Withdraw. Let's see, I read that one. Rick Sponge, does China Bank have insurance similar to FDIC? Yes, I think it's a half a million pesos. Okay, Simple says China Bank is owned by SM Investments, as stated the Psy family. I still think BDO has something to do with them. Simples. I know they did, unless they sold that interest. SM Group, okay, ROV says, yes, SM Group equals BDO Group equals China Bank, all the same group. Okay, I got you. So there we go. There's our answer. Simple says, Rick Sponge, the banks only have 500K PHP, which is about 9,500. So it's a half a million pesos, like he says, about 9,500 pesos for insurance. Wendy Toll says, we're going to Angeles to visit my friend's mother's grave. I'm not sure of the cemetery name, but do you think she's still buried there? Yes. If somebody's buried there, they don't dig them up there in the military cemeteries or veteran cemeteries, um, unless it's a private cemetery, which would be different. That's you never know. I'm not sure how long it is. If you don't keep paying the fees, they dig up the body after a while. But that is not true in the veteran cemeteries. It's not true in the permanent cemeteries. But for the poor people get buried in these cemeteries that they rent a spot and then they bury people in there and then they take them out. It's actually kind of sad. And then they burn the bones. And I think they put it in a like a mass grave site after that. Wendy told I'll check it out. Thanks. No problem, Wendy. Anytime. See what do we got now? 45 people, 18 thumbs up. Thank you guys. Let's see if we can get some more people on here. Let's get some more thumbs up on there, guys. We get some more people on here too. Let's keep this discussion going. It's one of the reasons why you should go to if you're a veteran, you should try to book a spot if you want to get buried in a veteran cemetery for sure. And you can talk to the VA about that and get some information out of them. I think on their hotline they have information. Alan retired in the Philippines. I read a Philippines article. The exchange rate could increase to 64 at the end of the third quarter. Hope they are right. Then I will exchange 2,000 US dollars. I'll, that's both good and bad because for the Filipinos that's terrible. But I think it's great where it is, and I'm happy with that because I think that would hurt Filipinos really bad in a big way. Joe Grutz, a thumbs up, folks. Michael L says SM Group owns a lot of stuff in the Philippines. House I originally TSAI is the house of is a house major in archipelago. Deborah, how and why did you choose? I think she wrote choose. It says chive. Tracy Martinez for living. Was it happenstance where you had traveled to and compare? Um, I like everybody else. I met somebody and I come over here and then I ended up liking it here. That's one of the main reasons why I came here and I love this place. I've had chances to move out of here and I just don't want to move from here. I like it because of its central location to almost everything. I can jump on a boat and go to Mindoro just by going down to Batangas. It's kind of in the middle of all the stuff that I need. And although Tracy, doesn't really offer you a lot, as far as that, it does. It's cheap transportation, especially if you don't drive. I am gonna get a vehicle probably sooner or later. Deborah says, choose Tracy Martinez. ROV says you will never go wrong with the SM group of companies in the PH. Michael says every time the exchange rate approaches 59, Banco Central intervenes to support the peso. Yes. Leonard Mullen, I have a feeling the exchange rate going to 64 will just raise inflation and all the prices. I agree. And then when you go back down to 57 or 54, it's going to kill you. So it gets you one way or the other. Don't wish for 64. Rick Sponge, you might get what you wish for. Rick Sponge, high exchange rate is a double-edged sword. Yes, in a very, very big way. A lot of people don't understand that. Simple says, ROV, I bought a SM condo. I wouldn't again. He bought one with a view of the bay, and the bay's all getting filled in now, which I think these people all got robbed because they bought these condos in Manila overlooking the bay, and you pay extra for that, and that's all gonna be filled in real soon. Simple says, let's see, wait a second. Fix Margarita. I am thinking of retiring in the Philippines. That's cool. Are you from the US, Margarita? Leonard Marlin, we've gone from 8,000 PHP a week for food to 10,000 now. Things are definitely going up. You have to really shop around now. Deborah, people rent motorcycles, but can you rent a tricycle, a tuk-tuk? I would imagine if you were over in Tagaytay, they have a lot of tuk-tuks over there. They don't have a lot of tuk-tuks in most towns. Believe it or not, they're just not that popular. Um, let's see. Sinful says the issue is not the bay, is how they manage the building. But part of it is the bay there too. I mean, you can't even sell it with a bay view really anymore because they got all that sand out there. John, living in the Philippines. If I die here, I will be cremated, and uh, if we make it home next year, I'll already have a plot. There we go. Rick Sponge, how much is statin generic drug there for say monthly supply? I'm not sure. I really honestly don't know that cost. I wish I had something. You can go on Mercury Drug or Watson Drug, and they have prices on there, Rick. Okay, I'm pretty sure you could find that on there. Simple says Rick Sponge medicines are very reasonable here. They are in most cases. Some of them are actually more expensive here, and some are less. The majority are less. ROV says sinfuls. Ha ha ha. Apologies on that. Avoid SMDCs. Um, Sinfuls, yes, but Bay issue is not SM. Their management is. Uh, Margarita says, yes, I am here in Florida right now. Okay. So you're planning on retiring over here, Margarita? That's what you're gonna do? And then where would you live over here? Deborah says, if not popular tuk-tuks, what is the name of the transportation? Most of the people use regular like motorcycles or that type of transportation. You can get a tricycle if you want to carry a lot of stuff around. Sure, run a lot. Sir, run a lot. If you're serious about coming here and about transportation, just buy $1,200 USD for a brand new scooter. You can get a nice motorcycle or scooter for right around what he said, about 1,200. You get a nice used one for like about six. Michael L says Astrostatin is readily available. Check prices at Mercury and Watson website. Joe Grutt said I've tried contacting the pharmacies there, but they don't get back to me. Some of them, if you type in the medicine, it'll give you the price. You just need to go to Watson's or Mercury, like I said. I've looked for stuff on there, and it gave me the price. I want to double check it. Vulcan 80 says, speaking of playing a lot of golf, have a tournament early tomorrow. We'll talk dinner at the expat lunch. Okay, we'll talk to you later, Rich. This month here, I'm like swamped, and me and Rich are trying to get together to do a dinner some night. And we haven't been able to because of all the stuff. So I'm hoping we can meet up with him soon. And I'm trying to plan the expat dinner this week too, which usually takes me like 2 or 3 days sending out invites and stuff. Let's see, blue eye can't blue eye. It says blue-eyed Kansan. Hello from Kansas. My wife has a house in Barangay Cabezas, Tracy. We were there for All Souls last year. We went to Batangas to the family mausoleum. Wife says rent must be paid every 10 years. Yeah, some places it's different than others. Some it's five in Manila. Some places it's as little as two. It's kind of strange. I got a bug here. He's attracted to the screen, I guess. Um, let's see. Joseph Gress says that doesn't surprise me. Businesses are terrible for responding. There you go. Have a nice day. Mercury Drug charged me 1,600 pesos for a 60-day supply. That's not that bad. I paid more than that the other day for a whole bunch of meds that I got. And I got Valsartan and some other medicine. Leonard Merlin says I paid 2,000 PHP for a metformin hypertension medicine for 2 months. Yeah, metformin's super, super cheap here, guys. I'll tell you that right now. Michael L says the equivalent of tuk-tuk in the Philippines are called trikes or tricycle or scooter, but more popular are the tricycles, like Michael says. Sir Ronald, if you have allergies, bring about 5 bottles unopened Benadryl. For whatever reason, it's expensive here. Yeah, that is expensive. Angelo Kalim, SMDC, cut too small, especially one bedroom. The reasonable cut one bedroom is 40 meters. Deborah, is hydrocodone or morphine available in pharmacies with or without a prescription? It's very hard to get anything above tramadol. I would say that you could probably get it at a pain clinic, Deborah, but I don't think most doctors can prescribe that. I'm not sure how that works. People tell me that you can get it here, and some other people tell me no, you can't. So I think at the pain clinics you can. That's what one of the doctors told me. They said that they have stronger medicines if you go to a pain clinic. So I haven't verified that. I'm just going off what I was told. Michael L. Leonard, metformin is for type 2 diabetes, not hypertension. That is correct. Alan, retired in the Philippines. I just found out the other day a person can get monetized on Facebook with over 1,000 follows and views on videos and make money. You know anything about this? I do not. I never heard about that. I don't. I think I have over 1,000. Um, it just makes one more layer of social networks I got to work with for me. So I don't think I'd want to try to monetize it. And then I don't like that guy, the guy that runs it. So Simple says, I serve run a lot. I take 2 tablespoons of local honey each day. Rick Sponge, Stevie, can I get Excedrin there? I'm not sure, to be honest with you, Rick. Simple says, Rick Sponge, possibly at SNR or Landers, but not sure. I'm sure they have it here. Michael L says, Deborah, only by RX. Slick 66 says, good evening, Steve. How do you make out with the floods? We didn't have any floods here. We're 423 feet up and we're on top of a hill, pretty close to the top of the hill. I heard Cavite and Manila got nailed. Cavite did down in Tanza really bad. They had major flooding there, but Tracy fared pretty well. Just minor flooding in certain areas, low-lying areas. There you go. Have a nice day. Prescription only for painkillers. Margarita says, yes, I am planning to live in somewhere in the province, Cebu or Lapu-Lapu City. I own a home, both provinces, and in subdivision in Mactan. That's cool. Angelo says, BGC has no flood issue due to good design. BGC is really good. They don't have any problems. Dickie Spaz says, hello, Steve, Sinfuls, and everyone. How you doing, Dickie? Welcome aboard. Michael L says, Alan, it is called professional mode for your profile. If a page or profile has more than 1K, you can monetize on FB. That's interesting. I don't know if I'd want to do that though. Deborah, please provide pain clinic phone name and at Tracy Martires. Plus, how do you call Philippines from the USA? I don't think they have these pain clinics here. They're up in Manila. Okay, because my doctor at the VA, she says that you should go to a pain clinic to get that. So, and I don't have a number available. When you call the Philippines from the USA, I'm not sure how you do that. Maybe Sinful's knows or Michael. I'm not sure about that. Michael might know. Jean Paul, you don't mind the traffic in Lapu-Lapu City, Margarita? And Constantine says, I could be wrong, but over the last couple of months, I noticed many expat vloggers have moved away from a rose-tinted glasses view of the Philippines. Greetings from Greece. I think people are starting to realize that it's not perfection over here. A lot of people try to sell the Philippines for more than what it is. John, living in the Philippines, they do have Advil. Lennon, Marlon, Michael, I have combo for both hypertension and type 2 diabetic. He names them right there. Lena Gliptin and metformin. There's actually one out there, one medicine. I forget what it is. I have the name of it, or Menitol or something like that. I can't remember the name of it. And it's good for both sugar and high blood pressure. And my doctor's trying to get it, but it's hard to get in the Philippines. Bulacan got the worst of the floods. Uh, let's see. Sir Ronald says, Sinfuls, I'm getting used to the allergies now, but definitely needed the Benadryl. If you have a good Filipino, you can almost get any script drug. Just FYI, money talks here. Margarita says doctor and medication are cheaper here in the Philippines. I paid when I went to see my doctor today. I paid $6, less than $6 US. Michael says, Deborah, you can get a Philippine virtual number that is linked to US phone. Sinful says he gives a thing here for St. Luke's for you guys that need any information. Linagliptin slash metformin, 2.5 milligrams to 500 milligrams. Sir Ronald, I use Skype or WhatsApp to call the U.S. Yeah, from here, I think she's talking about from the U.S. over to here. What numbers do you dial? Most of the people that call me, I have an American number still. Sinfuls, Sir Ronald, I just buy citrazine at Mercury. And Michael L says naproxen is better than ibuprofen. RLV says no flood problem in BGC because of higher elevation. Simple says RLV BGC also has a huge drainage and storage system under the city. I heard that. I heard it's massive. I think I even seen a video. There's a couple of places that have stuff like that. I'm not. One of them they use the water for something. I'm not. Maybe they make it into drinking water or something like that. I'm not sure, but I saw some place underneath the ground. I can't remember where it was. Maybe it was BGC. Simple says ROV. Okay, we just did that one. Rick Sponge says, does buying a car make any sense? My fear is getting hit by an uninsured party, then I'm paying for someone's negligence. um, Not really. I get around here. I've got around here for over 7 years without a car, and I get around fine. I use Grab, I use shuttles, I use buses. Let's see. Jeeves Winston is my Beast Blue Cross Blue Shield healthcare plan we use while I'm there. I'm hearing somebody told me, I'm not sure who, somebody said that it's good up at St. Luke's. Okay, I think it was maybe it's Sinfuls that told me. I'm not sure. Um, ROV Sinfuls agree. Sinfuls, let's see. Yeah, it was Sinfuls that told me. Jeeves Winston, I'm in the process of getting set up for Blue Cross Blue Shield through Medical City. Sinful says all covered up front. There you go. There's your answer. Angelo Kalima says Cavite is a good location. Grab it while still cheap. The government is looking to build a bridge from Cavite to Bataan. I agree that here in Tracy and Cavite is a really good place to get property if you can get it. Sinful's under BGC Circle is a huge storage tank. All right, that's what I probably saw then. Deborah and Michael, please explain how to get virtual phone number. Also, what does virtual mean? What are the names of the providers? Deborah, you can go on and you can get what's called Magic App. Magic app is very reasonable, and you can make phone calls from the states. You can make phone calls from here, and it's very it's cheap. Magic app is great for us calling the United States, but you can call anywhere in the world on it. You just put a small load on it. But if you call in the states, it's free. Okay. Jesus, sinful is my Blue Cross Blue Shield comes with my retirement. Will be useful over there. Yes, it will be. As he Simple says, you can have insurance that covers you. Jean Paul, I find provincial life in northern Cebu nice. Unfortunately, the highway always looks like Swiss cheese. Much better to own a truck with ground clearance. I would say a truck is better to have over here than a car. Simple says, geez, once it appears that will be the case. ROV, BGC floodwater goes straight to the Pasig River. Okay, interesting. Michael L. Deborah, you can call out from a U.S. phone number to the Philippines by dialing 011. That's the US exit code, plus then +63, that's the Philippines country code. So you have to put that plus in there. And then the Philippines phone number, long distance charges apply. But Deborah, if you want to call the Philippines, get Magic app because you can put load on it and you can call here cheaper. That's the way to do it, you know. Geez, Winston, thanks. Joe Cunningham, if I am self-insured, how much do I need to keep in the bank? I have no health issues whatsoever. You know, Joe, that's like a judgment call, but I would say a friend of mine found out he had cancer of the colon. He spent about $40,000 total, with all the treatments and everything, and that's so you should have at least, I would say, 50 to 60. That's what I would say, and even that might be a bit on the low side. So you got to be careful with that if you're going to self-insure. If I was going to self-insure over here, I would buy the lowest insurance you can buy from Pacific Cross, from Michael Onstad, and then cover the rest. That's the way to do it. So you probably won't dig into your funds for most things that happen. Simple as Joe Cunningham, many expats that claim self-insured here say they have 100K US dollars in the bank. You need a lot. I think 50 is low. I think, like Sinful says, I would have 100K in here for sure. Then with Magic, I can get or transpose my phone number from the states. You can transfer your number over. You have to call them about that though on Magic app. Okay, you call up the Magic Jack company and you ask them how to do that. It's Magic app that runs it. I mean, Magic Jack that runs it, but its Magic app is also run by Magic Jack. They're both the one and the same, so you can look them up online. Um, Leonard Marlin says I paid $68 for Magic app for 3 years. It's very reasonable. Joe Grutz says, what about vehicles you and I were talking about? Those vehicles are Suzukis. They're refurbished Suzukis, Joe. They go for about $4,000 or $5,000, and they're well worth it. And they look like brand new. Leonard Mullen, have a Florida number. ROV says first time is BGC is the place to be for a soft landing spot. And it's expensive there though. ROV, I will say that. Joe Cunningham, thanks. Steven Sinfuls, no problem. Michael says linagliptin is a DPP4 inhibitor, often prescribed with metformin. However, the monograph only mentions it for sugar control, nothing on it for hypertension, unless your hypertension is caused by diabetes. Leonard Merlin says, I pay $150 a month for Pacific Cross insurance. Yeah, mine is I'm right now is about 2,000, but I have like a million worth of, I mean, 5 million worth of insurance, 5 million pesos. Leonard Marlin put $500 in my emergency fund every month. That's the way to do it until you get up to a certain amount, then self-insure, and I'm sure you'll save a lot of money. Simplest for Pacific Cross, contact Michael Onstad on Messenger. Sir Ronald, Skype also has long as the person in the Philippines has the app. I think it's 18 US dollars a month from here to US, but it's free over Wi-Fi if both parties have it. WhatsApp also. See, Jimbo says good advice and info, Leonard. Rick Sponge, do many of the expats use Vanguard over there? Any issues to be concerned about? using them for your investment portfolio. I'm not sure about Vanguard. I know some of the other ones are cutting people off. You need to have a international stock portfolio. I think they have, and you can trade anywhere in the world with that. And then I think you need to have 75,000 in there or something like that. You need a special type of portfolio. Constantine says with Skype, you can have a US phone number to receive phone calls and text messages. Yes, a lot of people that use that. Let's see, Angela says message retracted. But for you guys that are looking for a good phone service, use Magic app, man, or buy Magic Jack, and you get the service. You get one year free. You don't even use the jack. You just you sign up for the jack and then use that once, and then you can basically throw it away after that because you get the service on your phone, and it's really really good using Magic app. I love Magic app. I use it for all my phone calls back to the states, and people call me for free. You know, um, can you use American credit cards in the hospitals? Yes, I don't recommend that at all unless for emergencies. I do talk about that in one of my videos, but I tell people if try to stay away from it if you can. You do not want to use that unless as a last resort. If the hospital's telling you we won't work on you till we have money, and you don't have any money on you at the moment. Michael also says, Rick, spin up your own VPN with AWS or DigitalOcean, so they don't think you are living in the Philippines. Um, Michael, they do catch you. They do catch you somehow. I don't know how they do it, but a lot of people that I know use VPNs and they still caught up with them. And when they asked how they found out, they wouldn't tell them. So I think the security is able to pick up on that somehow from the address. Michael L. Joe, if they accept credit cards, then yes. Um, Most hospitals do, but most of the time the machine's broken. Sinful says Joe Cunningham, the major hospitals will accept credit cards, even the lower ones, if their machine's not broken, which usually they are. Sir Ronald, I'm on my Philippines Phil Health through her work, and we are not even married. And I'm ACR tourist visa. Geez, Winston, when you retire, what does happen to your credit? Do the cards cut off, cut your limits and stuff and such? No, actually, since I've been over here, my cards have gone up, and I put down that I'm retired, and they still keep giving me these more and more credit. He's got to be responsible with Joseph Grutza. What is going to the better VPN to use? I use Tunnel Bear over here, Joe. That's what I use. I'm sure Michael might have a better one, but I love Tunnel Bear, and it's free. But you can pay and get a better one. Simple says, "Geez, Winston, my limit stayed the same." Martin Gill, I've heard Magic App won't work for two-factor. No, it will not. You're right. It will not. From places like your bank. What is your experiences with this? It will for Social Security calling you and stuff like that, and some of these other. Yeah, I think even for the VA and some of these other things, where they call you, you can pick either email or call, and they do call, but the messages don't go through sometimes. Michael says, Steve, that is because they are using commercial VPN whose IP addresses are known. Okay. Sinful says, Joe Grutza, I use Express. Deborah, I just opened Charles Schwab checking account. It's great, no minimum, no monthly. Plus, they provide a debit card. Plus, it's on mobile, and all ATM transactions are refunded. That's the way it is with my credit union. A lot of credit unions refund the ATM fees. Gene Paul, Magic Jack is great for calls, but for two-factor authentication, text messages, it won't work. You're correct. Constantine, Interactive Brokers is probably the best brokerage firm. Uh, Jay Sully says, did you mention on one of the videos that most hospitals in the Philippines do not have, uh, you mean defibrillators? My wife says otherwise, and uh, points to lots of Filipino movies. Um, that's true. That's true. A lot of places don't have defibrillators. I've noticed that when I was sitting at one of the emergency rooms one night. Bring your own defibrillator. They're about $1,200. And actually, that's a good idea to bring your own defibrillator because if you can teach people how to use those, They're very simple to use, those AEDs. Those AEDs are great. Joe Grutza, thank you, Sinfuls. Jay Sully says defibrillators and AEDs too. AEDs are the ones that you pretty much can you anybody can do them. They're very simple to use. It tells you how to use it, and it has pictures and everything. When you open the cover, it turns on and starts walking you through it. I used to have Magic app, but it quit working for me. I just have my Horizon. I have a unlimited plan, which cost me an additional $14 a month on top of my normal plan. We got William Kreitzer on board. Gene Paul, Skype works. I don't know why William got taken down. He must have been talking politics or something. Let's see. Michael L. I use PIA. However, when I move full time, I will have a US box spun up via AWS, so it will appear that I am on US soil and they can't cross reference it. No IP address. Tiki Spaz, T-Mobile here always works well. That's the one I recommend to everybody. Have T-Mobile for like 6 months or something. You can shut it off and always turn it back on if you need it. Tiki Spaz says peace of mind. Deborah says for two-factor authorization, which calling app do you recommend where you can keep your phone number? Wow. Most of the apps don't. There are apps that do allow it, but I'm not sure which ones allow it, Deborah, because I don't have any of that. I've just figured ways to work around it, and I've made it around it. Joe Cunningham says, "Is there a number to call ER? I know assisted living facilities in the Philippines has a direct contact with the Lifeline Emergency Rescue with a hospital." I'm sure there is. For each hospital, you can actually look up the hospitals and just ask for the number directly to the ER. Since you can buy an AED on Amazon. Yes, you can. You can order it on eBay and stuff too. Michael L., there is a difference between an AED and a paramedic defibrillator. Yes. The AEDs are very simple. A foreigner telling the truth in the Philippines, Changhua Hospital in Cebu takes approximately 2 days to hook into your insurance. Okay. A foreigner telling truth in the Philippines. I had pneumonia. I had to upfront pay 100K, which was repaid upon discharge. That's a lot of money, man, just to get them to look at you. Rick Spud, Steve, any concern on China trying to invade Taiwan and possibly northern Luzon? At this moment, I don't think so. I mean, the United States is all over the place, and we got troops here too. So I don't think they'd want to do something stupid. That would definitely start World War III. Definitely, no doubt about it. Gene Paul, two-factor authorization, Skype works. Jeeves Winston, I am an HSI certified first aid and CPR trainer. As a retirement hobby gig, is there a need for training there, like the old Red Cross used to go back in the day? I think so. That would probably go over actually pretty well. But I know that they probably have people here that do it, but I think it'd be something that they might want to teach in schools. William Kreitzer, international flights beginning next month in Iloilo, direct flights to and from Singapore and Hong Kong. Michael L. says, I use Google Fi Unlimited Plus plan. However, I will have to find another solution when I move full time, perhaps Google Voice. I think Google Voice will do the stuff that you guys are talking about for the banking. The two-factor authorization. Simple says, Rick Sponge, no issues in my opinion. They are not invading the Philippines. Taiwan maybe. I think they might do that, but I think they're just fooling with playing games right now with the Philippines, and let's hope it doesn't go beyond that. We'll find out in the next few weeks because they made a deal with the Philippines. If they start breaking that again, the Philippines is just going to get sick of them after a while. A foreigner telling the truth in the Philippines, so you get sick in Cebu, make sure you have a good cash flow if ending up in a hospital. Yeah, Cebu is very expensive. Although I know a guy down there that had colon cancer, and he paid I think about 40,000 US for every. I think he says it's going to cost him about 40,000 total. Sinfuls, nothing fast here. LOL. Jeeves Winston says, what volunteer gigs are there for retirees? Geez, we got an orphanage right nearby here. There's tons of volunteer places. You can volunteer at a church. I used to volunteer at my church and help with the church. I used to self-fund some of the ministries there because they didn't have the money to do it. That's the only way you're gonna get 'em, something like that going. But the orphanage here would take you working there with kids, special needs children. There's all kinds of things you can do here, man. I'm telling you, it's unlimited. A foreigner telling the truth in the Philippines. Total bill over 5 days was 553,000 pesos. Thank God for insurance, man. That's crazy. That's exceptionally expensive. Desi Page, thank you for saving me a ton of money. No problem. Let's see. 97420 Empire. Habitat for Humanity has a branch in the Philippines. I didn't know that. That's pretty interesting. Rick Sponge says, Steve, any thoughts on a current stock market? The tech sector valuations are very high, and a bubble could break soon if the current overbuying continues. Rick, I haven't really followed that much the market since I got out. I wouldn't even know how to comment. Some people are saying we're expecting a big crash in the fall. So I'm not sure. I mean, a lot of people have been talking about that. Tom's away can volunteer to pick up unlimited trash. Yeah, you could do that for sure. There you go. Have a nice day. Says you can't do volunteer work on a tourist visa. You can with a church. That's not totally true. You can with a church. You can't. You can't in most cases though. Yeah, you need to have a SRRV or something like that. But if nobody says anything, see for a church, it's different because you're working for a church. Sinful's 97420 Empire. My belief is the being in the Philippines, having local farmer markets, food sales will go on. Granted, reduced and higher costs, but will go on. William, do you get to choose what ads run on your videos? You, I believe there's a section in there you can ban certain types of ads. William, okay, you can. Um, Simple says Tom's away. No joke on trash. Yeah, there's plenty of trash here if you want to volunteer to do something. Foreigner telling truth in the Philippines. 20K a night for just for just for the room. Not joking. 20K and nothing worked. No phone, no hot water, no TV. Crazy for 20K. That's crazy for a hospital room because over here in De La Salle, I can tell you right now, I think it was cheaper than that, and that was for the higher end rooms. Cheaper than 20K for sure. Michael L. William, no, he doesn't. AdSense automatically places the ads. No, Michael, he's asking if I can, and you can pick the ads, but I don't. You're right. Auto AdSense automatically picks mine, but if I wanted to, I can pick and choose. I can ban certain ones. I know there's a way to do that on there. A foreigner telling truth in the Philippines. I even had to buy my own towels and a pillow. Oh, I know about that because they don't want you to share pillows with other people there. I didn't know that about the towels. I, but that's true in most hospitals with the pillows here. Sir Ron a lot. Be careful volunteering over here. Almost need a permanent residency visa. You need like a SRRV or you know one of those marriage visas or something. Dickie Spess, expat health insurance should be mandatory and tied to being granted a visa. It should be. You're right, Dickie, for long-term people here. As far as tourist visas, if you're coming over here on a tourist visa, you know, I, I I can see why they'll just let people in here. Sinful is Dickie Spaz. Yes, part of being self-sufficient. Leonard Mullins says, Tom away. I pick up trash every day in my neighborhood. No one complained yet. They're not going to turn you in for picking up trash or volunteering for your church or something like that. Uh, Dickie Spaz, urban legend on volunteering. There we go. Michael also says, Steve, you can reject certain categories of ads, but not individual ads, as far as I know. I think you can. I think there is a way, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I remember going in there a long, long time ago, but I haven't looked at it recently. But I think if you don't like a certain ad, you can ban it. A foreigner telling the truth in the Philippines, Chonghua Cebu is touted as the #1 international hospital in Cebu. Um, I can tell you now that is not true. Let's see. Jeeves Winston, don't laugh. During the pandemic, I started bringing trash bag on my daily walks. Actually enjoyed picking up the trash along the roadside. William Kreitzer, Steve, how far is De La Salle Medical Center from SM Tracy? It's about a half hour ride. It's very close. It's not that far. It's just the traffic. How many minutes by car? About 30 minutes. You can get there probably 15 or 20 right now because the traffic will be slim. Michael L says the only way you are going to get in trouble for volunteering is if you profit off it via poverty porn videos on YouTube. Yes, I agree with Michael on that 100% because most people volunteer here and stuff like that. They don't get in trouble. Um, a foreigner telling the truth in the Philippines, which now totally puts me off Cebu healthcare. That hospital was terrible and it doesn't bode well for anyone with health worries. That's one of the reasons why I like to be around, Tracy, because I'm not that far from St. Luke's if I need to go there or a better hospital. Um, and if you go to a hospital and they can't work with you, they'll probably get you an ambulance, but an ambulance here is not like the ones back home. That's why I say you might want to think about getting an AED. Simple as I wouldn't say health insurance is a ripoff from me. Um, I have had over 500,000 US dollars in medical care, and it cost me about 3.5K US dollars in copay. That's not bad. See, Rick Sponge, Stevie, what's the cutoff on shoe size that selections become very scarce? I know when I went to the Sperry store, they said it's hard to get anything over size 11 here. There are some guys, Filipinos with big feet over here. You know, I know a couple of them, and they took size 11s. So not 97420 Empire says I would go to Thailand, Malaysia for elective health, dental, and eye care. Dental, no. Dental, you can go to any of the teaching hospitals and get good dental. You can get good eye care, and you can get good health care for the most part there. I went to get my heart checked this week, and at De La Salle, and I was really impressed there. They treated me pretty good. One of the guys at the front counter didn't, but everybody else in there, they were very professional. The nurses there were fabulous. Everything went well. Sinfuls, I am 9.5 US and have no issue with findings. Yeah, I'm a 9. I don't have a problem. A Dickie Spaz, better to be safe than sorry in regards to having health insurance. Peace of mind is unmeasurable. I tell people you should at least get the 1 million insurance from Pacific Cross, at the least, if you're going to come over here. At least you got some coverage, and the rest, you can pick up with maybe a credit card or on your own if you have the money. Sir Ronald, man, about 11 US size. It's hard. I've had more problems with socks. Yeah, the socks over here, it's hard to get big socks. Although they stretch, I find socks over here, some of them are too low on me, and I'm buying the bigger ones. Sully, would you get cataract surgery in the Philippines? Yeah, I would. I would trust a doctor over here for that, especially if the eye doctor's done that before. I don't think I'd have a problem with that. Sinfuls, it's 2 million now, Steve, for Pacific Cross as minimum. Okay, so they moved it then. Okay, so 2 million, I think that would get you. What do they call it? You're on the ward. If I'm not wrong, I think that's for the ward. And if you move up to 3 million, then it would move you into like semi-private, and then you move up to private. I know that they have it goes in like waves. You go from ward, semi-private, and then to private. And the more you pay, the more you get. Deborah, is Pacific Cross offered in USA, or do you only get it in the Philippines? You can get it in the Philippines, Deborah, and you get it from a guy named Michael Onstad, Onstad. Write that name down, Michael Onstad, Onstad, and he's on Messenger. He might even be on here right now because he comes on here quite a lot. And he goes to our expat dinners too. A foreigner telling truth in the Philippines. Apparently, he's actually my person, my go-to man. Apparently, Cebu City Doctors Hospital in Mactan is the place to be if you get sick. And Simple says yes, that is ward policy. Yeah, it's the cheapest. Simple says Deborah, Southeast Asia plan. That's the one you want. And they just recently changed it and made it better. Angelo Kalima, to improve life in the Philippines for the expat, join in Philippines Authority Retirement Facebook. It is a government site. If you guys want, let me just say this, Angelo, because I work with the PRA, Philippine Retirement Authority. It's PRA. It's not Philippines Authority Retirement. Um, and we do all that stuff. So if any of you guys know that we do the SRRBs and we do them for free. We help people walk people through the process. You don't need to go to anybody to get help or anything. We walk you through totally for free. And if you call directly to the PRA, they don't give you the same help that we can give you. Okay, so just FYI on that. They'll help you, but you're gonna have to do all the footwork. We do all the footwork with you and for you for the most part. Some you have to do back in the states. So just FYI. Deborah says it's no, it's not on Steed, it's on Stad. Just like Sinful said, ONSTAD. Michael Onstad. You can actually he's always online. William Kreitz says, Steve, my sister said it takes 2 to 3 months to see a doctor in the US. She was surprised that we can see a doctor the same day here. That goes for major hospitals like St. Luke's and Makati. Um, William, I just did a story because my girlfriend she had a problem the other night. She had to move from hospital to hospital to hospital to hospital because all of them were filled. So that's the problem. So you might be able to see your medical doctor right away, but these hospitals are packed sometimes. John, living in the Philippines, I'm not sure how far I am from St. Luke's. I'm next to SM North, Quezon City. You're fairly close. Philip Massey, does Pacific Cross only work in the PH or other Southeast Asian countries too? I believe it works for 30 days in some of the other countries. I'm not sure. Michael could give you more on that. Philip, if you want to contact him, again, it's Michael Onstad on Messenger. He can answer all your questions. I really don't want to answer that because I'm not 100% sure, but he will answer that for you, and he'll give you he'll answer anything you want. If you want prices and stuff too. Sir Ronald, I've been to a hospital twice here. Tell him Steve sent you, by the way. I've been to the hospital twice here, admitted twice, once ER for 14 hours and once for 3 days, which required 20K PHP deposit. When I checked in the hospital, I just told them I was going to use my credit card, and they were okay at De La Salle. And I was in there for a day with kidney stones. And then another time I was at Santiago Hospital here in Tracy, and I got to say that they were really bad. I was not happy. Sinfuls, William Kreitzer, yes, quick. My wife needed to see a doctor this morning on Saturday. Took 20 minutes to get in on a walk-in basis. Yeah, if you're talking about a walk-in basis at De La Salle, you can pretty much walk into any doctor and see them usually within 3 to 4 hours. There is waiting lists in some of those places. You have to sign a thing and you have to wait. It's not like it's usually not 20 minutes, but some doctors it is. So, but as far as walking into an emergency room, some of them are gonna tell you they're too busy. Simple's Philip Massey, I know it's in Thailand, probably other Southeast Asian countries. Doesn't work in the United States, so a foreigner telling truth in the Philippines. Anyway, Steve, keep up the good work. Your channel is very real and a great info source. Thank you, man. Jeeves Winston had a procedure in New Hampshire last week. Couple traveling RNs I met there from PH, both men. They are making serious bank. They're everywhere in Boston hospitals. Yeah, they are. Rick Sponge says, "Is there earthquake fault lines to worry about in Cavite and Batangas?" There are, but not as much as in Manila. I think in Manila they've been saying they've been waiting for the big one for a while, and they're expecting like a 8.0 or something like that at some point. Jeeves Winston says a lot of nursing schools there, or was this just random? There is a lot of nursing schools all over the place. Sinful says Rick Sponge, you can look up the fault map and find where they are. You can actually buy those fault maps in some of the places that sell envelopes and paper products and stuff like that for schooling. You can find the fault line maps if they still sell them there. You can also look online. Like Sinful says, you got Philvox right here. John, living in the Philippines, I had cataract surgery here in one eye, 50,000. Did a great job. That's a great deal, man, for $1,000. You know, Jay Sully, where at John? Joe Cunningham. Besides De La Salle, which other hospitals are good in the area? You want to know something? There's the Korean hospital nearby. That's more of a public hospital, and they're actually pretty good. I've actually used them for physical therapy, and they charge me 200 pesos for physical therapy. It's $4. $4 is a bargain. I would say There's some over in General Trias. There's like 2 or 3 over in General Trias too that are fair. They're good. Simple says, Joe Cunningham, Asian Hospital, Medical City. Michael says, does global insurance exist so one doesn't need separate insurance for Southeast Asia and the States? Um, there is global insurance like Cigna and stuff like that you can get, okay? And it's like for expats. I know they're out there and they will cover you just about anywhere. Some of them limit themselves to everywhere but the US. Okay, so just FYI on that. Simple says St. Luke's. Simple says Michael L. Yes, travel insurance. Simple does global type coverage. Does global type coverage, but I don't know. I don't think it's permanent. No, there is permanent one. You can get there is expat insurance. Like I think Cigna is one of them, but there's a few other ones too out there. There's actually quite a few. But really have to look into what it says in their policies. I heard 97420 Empire Safe Wing and a few others work in many parts of the world. Michael L. Sinfuls. I was thinking permanent global health insurance. They have it. They have it, Michael. They do have it. Like I said, I think Cigna is one of them. Sinful says unsure. You can get some sort of permanent expat insurance if you're like a world traveler or something like that. Even if even if you're just an expat and you just want to have it, so if you go to other countries. Actually, Michael, I was thinking of looking into that, but it's very, 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 very costly because I looked into that before I come over here, and I remember the prices were really high for per year. It was like 7,000, 8,000, 9,000, 10,000, cost like that, and that's off the charts for me. 97420 says most exclude the USA. That's what I was saying earlier. They do exclude the USA. You can get it with it, but you're going to pay more. Um, Sinful's put Cigna if you guys want to check it out. Cigna Global. Okay. Um, and some people have sworn by that by Cigna. They say it's really great, and other people have said it's just too costly. Simples is putting out these other places. AXA Global Healthcare. Actually, I've heard about that one too. There's, like I said, there's quite a few out there. So if you guys want to check those out, we're coming up to about an hour and 16 minutes. We got 57 people on here. Rick Sponge says supermarket there is best bang for the buck. Which supermarket is best bang for the buck? Walmart. Walmart. Walmart's the cleanest. Um, I would say their prices are decent. I'm not a big fan of SM. I don't like their meat. Um, I find Walmart is much cleaner and there's no smell back where the meat is. And when I walk into the SM, I can smell a smell that just doesn't smell really good. Sinfuls, but I like South Supermarket. Jay Sully, thumbs up, everyone. So I'm going to end this here, guys. I want to thank everybody for joining tonight. I want to thank Sinfuls and Michael both for being on top of things tonight. Um, is Walmart? Rick Sponge says, is Walmart a membership place? Um, no, it is not. You can get SM cards though. Okay, and as you spend money, you build up points on there, and you cash it in to use when you want to. Len says, "Good night, Steve. Good night." And how do you handle the family situation with your Filipina? I mean, s- my I don't have any problems with my girlfriend's family at all. Nobody asks me for money. Nobody asks for help, and it's been like that for almost a year now. And I don't. If I see something I think I should help, I offer. But and she hates taking money away from me. She hates seeing anybody take money away from me. Deborah, my husband of 20 years died on July 1st a few weeks ago. I had to change only only to my name, my Blue Cross Blue Shield Advantage. It's 212 DLL a month. Let's see, Joe Grutz, have a blessed day and a week to y'all. Let's see, Gene Lamb, with SRV, what is the minimum and maximum stay in the Philippines for a year? You can stay as long as you want. I would like to leave the Philippines once or twice a year to go back to the States. Yeah, you can, Gene, you can leave for as long as you're paying your dues every couple of years, and you have to pay a dues. It's like it depends on whether you're ex-military or not. You pay your dues and you just pay that and you can send them the dues and they'll send you another card and stuff like that. So you can stay 10 years out if you want and still have that. Jonathan Jones, you can go in and out as freely as you want. Jonathan Jones, thank you, Steve. I've been watching from Conyers, Georgia. Thank you, man. John living in the Philippines at SM Mall. They have a clinic. They also they have all types of doctors there, and the eye doctor spoke perfect English. There's a lot of places that are putting those little medical clinics in these malls. I noticed, and they're actually pretty good. These medical clinics. Um, Jay Sully says, "Thanks for the LS, Steve. Have a good night." And we'll talk to you guys later. I'm going to finish there because we're pretty much at the end here. Let me see. Sinful says Cigna for me is $402 a month. Just did quote. So there you go, guys. I mean, 402, that adds up fast. That's a lot of cash out there, and that's probably for one of their lower plans. You know, and also as you age, once you hit that 70 mark, man, that rate probably goes up to like 1,000 a month, or maybe even more than that. Who knows? I might actually, maybe I should do another. I should do a video on that. Maybe we'll do a live stream, and I'll do some homework on it before I come on some night. But anyway, guys, God bless. Take care and enjoy your weekend, guys. I'll be up in Angeles tomorrow. If you guys ever need anything, you can always email me at Steven5975 at yahoo.com. God bless, guys. Take care. Peace.